Welcome everyone to मैं भी ज्ञान दूं, a podcast which is just talking about pretty much every aspect of our life, including every bakati, every topic which we can think of, but people with some experience around it, or people like me with self-proclaimed experience on pretty much any topic. But as part of the series, I have today with me Reginald Miranda, one of my really good friends. It's been pretty much over a decade we've been together, and apart from his professional experience, the objective of this podcast is to talk about gaming, pretty much every aspect of it, and the evolution of gaming. We're not talking about PUBG, but we're talking about an actual core gaming, hardcore gaming aspect as well, and pretty much every facet around it, but from Reggie's perspective. And without any more bakati, any more bakchodi, I will move on to Reggie. Reggie, thank you so much for being part of my podcast. मैं भी ज्ञान दूं, which pretty much everyone else we would love to give as much ज्ञान as possible.
Of course.
And why don't you start with a quick intro about yourself, your professional journey and personal journey?
Okay. Professional journey. What do you want to know about professional journey? I'm not going to go too much into the professional journey. Personal, maybe I'll talk about it a little.
Perfecto.
Okay, great. So, hello Sid. Hello Sid's viewers. And right, so Sid ने बहुत formal introduction दिया मेरे नाम का. Please do not go by that. I prefer to go by the name Reggie. It's just a lot easier. नहीं तो it sounds like मेरी टीचर मेरे को डांट लगा रही है कुछ पूरा नाम लिया तो
Exactly. जैसे सिद्धार्थ, like हाँ जी.
हाँ तो इसलिए Reggie is absolutely fine. So where do we start? Right, so I currently work as a information security professional, focusing more along the GRC side of InfoSec. And I've been with my current organization for quite a long time, as you probably know.
Yep.
Because you are one of those people as well. So इसीलिए इतना ज्ञान जमा हो गया ना.
हाँ, exactly. एक जगह बैठ के तो फिर और पूरी थद्दी लिख देता ना. आओ chapter number 1.
हाँ आ जाओ. Let's start from the start. So in terms of my personal life, well, what do I say? I'm a middle-aged man, but in my head, I'm probably still in my 20s, which can be a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know. It served me well so far, so ठीक है, I'll take it as a good thing. And we are here to talk about gaming, so I'll keep my introduction more gaming specific. So I don't know whether I should call myself a gamer or not. It all depends on how do you define a gamer.
Yeah.
Right? Now, there are definitions of a gamer as somebody who is into electronic entertainment, specifically video games, more, let's say, professionally. He gamer hai, cricketer hai.
Yeah.
ऐसा नहीं. I'm not those kind of gamers. Okay. I like that Star Wars wala jo meme hai. A man of your talents and everything. Why do you only play single player games? And uska fir na, it's a simpler life. It's a simpler life. But I guess the reason also for that is, and theek hai, maybe thoda sa I'm skipping ahead. But I like games for the fact that it allows an escape. And when we were growing up, my brother and I, we used to be completely fascinated with the games that we saw coming into the arcades at the time. उस time मतलब arcades पे का बहुत craze होता था. And मतलब although हमें बताया जाता था कि नहीं वहाँ पे मत जाओ, जुआ खेलते हैं लोग, ये वो गंदे अड्डे होते हैं ये. लेकिन I think we were more drawn to things that forced you to use your imagination and creativity a little bit as well. And then, of course, kids being kids have a very wild imagination. And when we were growing up, जैसे आज बहुत भयंकर गर्मी वाला दिन है, तो मार्केट तो जा ही नहीं सकते, लेट अलोन वीडियो गेम की दुकान में खड़े होना. तो हम लोग क्या करते थे, मतलब we used to be in our room sitting, मतलब घर वाले सारे आफ्टरनून नैप ले रहे होते थे, and my brother and me, we used to pretend play video games. So one used to be pretending to play on the cabinet, and the other used to pretend being a character. तो मेरा भाई फॉर एग्जांपल इमेजिनरी जंप बटन दबाता था, तो मैं इमेजिनरी मारियो की तरह जंप करता था. बट लाइक आई सेड, दोस वर सिंपलर टाइम्स. right? Games today and gaming today in general is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Uh, so it's a very different era.
I guess uh, so. I think if you have, it's the cabinet when you're talking about the
Hmm.
arcade gaming, right
Hmm.
from a proper small
Hmm.
stall or a small shop space
Hmm.
with at least 5 or 10 of those arcades, and you're like, ठीक है, you've got 2D or
Hmm.
virtual 3D, not 3D per se,
Hmm.
but एक जितना again जितना imagination के साथ खेल सकते हो, you can do. Obviously, from the time of arcades, it's
Hmm.
been what, like, if you obviously, like you said, you won't call yourself a gamer, which
हाँ.
means not a professional gamer, but
हाँ.
just being involved with gaming.
Hmm.
How many years would it would have been for you? I think over.
Oh, over 30 years, easy.
Yeah.
Easy over 30 years. Because I remember the first video game I ever saw that I very vividly remember is Super Mario Brothers, right? So
That's pretty much the foundation of every proper
aha,
gamer, or at least, I mean, not gamer, but
that
someone who's been involved in gaming as well.
that is, and of course because it's so iconic,
Yeah.
because everybody knows it, it recall value इतना strong है उस brand का that people generally जब तुम retro बोलो तो Mario Contra
Mario
दो ही
Contra,
name
yeah,
निकल जाते हैं.
exactly. हाँ.
But actually, I started playing video games much before that because हमारे एक uncle थे बॉम्बे में रहते थे, and he was like the loaded uncle in the family. तो my cousins, that's why they had Atari का उनके पास 2600 था. And I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. मतलब I don't even remember what the game was. All I know is मैं कुछ UFO उड़ता था and this thing. But this takes me back to my previous point that Atari gaming at that time, because आपके system के limitations इतने थे, that you would be forced to use your imagination to
Exactly.
imagine that कि अच्छा that's a UFO
हाँ.
and that's a missile launcher, that's a silo,
And
whatever.
I guess also with limitations as part of any industry or anything, you're forced to use your imagination, and also you would take on face value as part of storyline. If the game says it's a UFO, you're not going to go criticize into it purely because of lack of the technological evolution.
हाँ, so
Like, yeah, it's a UFO, so it's a UFO.
so
fine.
here's another thing जो आजकल games में आपको नहीं मिलता है,
हाँ.
a manual. उस टाइम आपको मैनुअल मिलता था. मैनुअल में गेम में इतना
True.
मेमोरी होता ही नहीं था कि
हाँ.
आपको स्टोरी टेक्स्ट बता दे.
Correct.
ठीक है. So you had a manual that would come with the cartridge. The manual would say that Earth is under attack, blah 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 blah.
हाँ.
And then you're like, oh shit, it's down to me to save the day.
And just like the power of as Dungeon and Dragons would have the power of storytelling.
Hmm.
You read the manual, you went through imagination, you're
Yeah.
like, okay, perfect, हाँ यार अच्छा ठीक है, ये scenario है, this is how I'd want to do. Again, it's a technological limitation,
Hmm.
but actually emphasizing on imagination and kind of building up on that, and maybe
Correct.
expectation as well, because
हाँ.
you become more attached, you have a more emotional attachment to it, to the
Hmm.
game and story building as well.
Yeah.
Pretty much. With that,
Hmm.
and obviously now you've already said 30 years.
Hmm.
How many? Take me through the list of consoles and games you have with you.
Oh, so I did not buy my first console until 1999. 99 May is when I bought my first console, which was a PlayStation 1.
Okay.
And I was blown away by it, right? Because that was the first time I was playing 3D games outside the arcade. उसके पहले arcade में खेलते थे, like
Exactly.
Virtua Cop, Virtua Fighter, House of the Dead, ये सारे arcades में बहुत चलते थे. So the first console I actually bought was in 99, which was a PlayStation. And then I bought a Dreamcast, and then PlayStation 2, and so on and so forth. As of right now, I have with me a Dreamcast. I have all the Xbox consoles. So that's the Xbox One, Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. Then PlayStation 1 नहीं रहा मेरे पास अभी. And I gave my PlayStation 2 to a friend.
Yeah.
तेरे को याद होगा उसमें हमने आर्केड कैबिनेट बनाया था हमने. तो PS2 मैंने फिर डोनेट कर दिया था. पर PS3 है मेरे पास अभी भी, और उस पर अभी भी खेलता हूँ. PS4 है मेरे पास. I've got the PS5 as well. Then I've got the PlayStation Portable. I've got the PlayStation Vita. I've got the PS Vita TV version of it. Um,
Nintendo.
Then coming to
Switch.
Nintendo, Nintendo में Super Nintendo है मेरे पास, which is the 16-bit. OG Nintendo नहीं है, but Super Nintendo जो इंडिया में Samurai के नाम से आता है. So I've got the what's it called, the Super Nintendo. I've got Nintendo 64. I've got the Wii. I've got the Wii U. I've got the Nintendo Switch. I've got Game Boy. Not the Game Boy. Game Boy Color. I've got the DS. I've got the 3DS, and I've got the 2DS. And did I say Switch?
Yeah, you did, you
so Switch
Pretty
है.
much, yeah, 20.
And then Dreamcast भी मैंने बोल ही दिया था. So I've got
20 odd, yeah.
So and again, I guess it's because as I've kind of gone along in my gaming journey, whatever that means, I've come to realize the value that some of these retro consoles bring. And truth be told, India में ना बहुत major scene है retro consoles का. Like major scene तो पता नहीं, I don't know, I won't call it major scene, but I know that there are places where still there is some of this preservation being done.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you follow Carl Rock का एक वीडियो था
I've
जिसमें
seen
वो
it, I've seen
पुणे
it. He
गया
goes
था
to,
या something.
exactly.
हाँ.
I think no, not Pune, Mumbai. I think.
नहीं, मुंबई में नहीं था, वो पुणे में था, I'm pretty sure.
But there's this one guy who.
हाँ, there's
literally
this one
goes
guy.
through,
And मैं वो वीडियो देख रहा था and I was like, oh my god, this is a treasure trove. But issue ये भी है कि मतलब I don't know, maybe यहाँ पे वो preservation culture इतना है नहीं.
Yeah.
Because so much of that was just lying there as junk, गंदा और
Exactly,
कथा धूल मट्टी पड़ा हुआ था उस पे and everything. So while it is heartbreaking, it's also very it also brings a smile to my face to see कि you know there are still some of those shops from back in the day जब हम लोग बच्चे होते थे, उस टाइम की चीजें पड़ी हुई हैं.
And it also promotes the right to repair approach of
Well,
gaming, which technology as of
हाँ,
as of
which
today
is
doesn't.
which is why मतलब you'll never see me with a Apple product, but ठीक है, वो अलग discussion हो गया.
With the evolution aspect as well of gaming, your life with the game within the gaming world as well. How many eras would you classify your gaming into? So like let's say
eras
if you
I'll
would,
probably call them generations. So abhi we are in the 9th generation of gaming. ठीक है. So if we count backwards from here, so PlayStation 4 was the 8th generation.
Okay.
Xbox 360 was the 7th generation. Then PS2 was the 6th.
But with you, like how do you like? Would it be like, oh, okay, based on the decade, like from 1990s till 2000, that's one era for you, one generation, or would you actually follow this?
Okay.
The actual gaming generation.
ठीक है, वो console generations बता रहा था मैं. Okay, fair enough. I understand the question. So yes, there have definitely been eras, so to say, in gaming, and I think if we look at the current era right now, I think it's the era of the multiplayer, everything multiplayer. There's loot boxes. There's a lot of focus on co-op play and everything. But that's also because netcode has significantly improved. People can easily communicate with each other around the world. So I'm obviously in this era at the moment. Then I've also seen the era when LAN parties used to be a big thing.
Oh,
so
damn,
I remember,
I
remember this was maybe 15, 16 years ago. So we did a couple of LAN parties. So I think there still is Score करके एक magazine होता था जो the Digit guys used to publish it.
Okay.
I don't know if it still is available or not. I haven't read or seen Digit and Score in ages now. But they started a forum, and I met actually a lot of people I'm still in contact with to this day on that forum. And what was the common thing was gaming. Right? So LAN parties उनके साथ organize किया. Then उसके बाद there was the era when you would take your console to a friend's house और उसके टीवी में लगा के गेम खेलते थे. So I don't know if that
like
answers what your
3 or 4 3-4 eras or generations
हाँ, और
using
फिर एक
consoles.
एरा वो होता था कि मतलब वीडियो गेम की दुकान में भाग गए,
हाँ,
मतलब घर
हाँ,
वाले
exactly.
देते थे पैसा, जाके ब्रेड लेके आओ, अंडे लेके आओ, ये वो, उसमें से 1 रुपया किसी तरह से अंटी करना है ताकि वो यू कैन पुट दैट इन द कैबिनेट
Yeah.
एंड प्ले एटलीस्ट वन गेम ऑफ सुपर मारियो, कॉन्ट्रा और ट्विन बी
Or
और
Street
वट एवर द
Fighter,
गेम, स्ट्रीट
anything,
फाइटर,
yeah,
ओ स्ट्रीट फाइटर पे तो हाँ, तो वो भी एक जनरेशन था जहाँ पे सट्टे लगते थे स्ट्रीट
exactly,
फाइटर पे
exactly. हाँ, who
हाँ,
can continue the longest on that console, on that cabinet.
वो भी होता था,
Competition होता था
फिर
कि
कॉम्पिटिशंस भी होते
हाँ
थे
कि एक प्रोफेशनल बैठा, ऑब्वियसली जिसका जॉब नहीं है वो वहीं पे बैठा रहता था
हाँ,
और वो सब बच्चों को हराता रहता था.
करेक्ट करेक्ट, तो
एंड देन
मतलब
यू वुड compete against him and like अच्छा यार ये क्या बात हुई यार, नहीं
हाँ,
मतलब
तो
खेलना
उस
है.
टाइम हमें भी पता नहीं था, मतलब देवर लाइक व्हेन यू थिंक बैक ऑन इट नाउ, तो बटन मैशिंग बहुत होता था, एंड वो तो तू अभी भी करता है वैसे भी
जो यार बहुत
अबे रहने दे, रहने दे,
है.
ठीक है, बट लेकिन बटन मैशिंग बहुत होते थे
हाँ, I
उस टाइम, हमें
started
पता
with
नहीं होता
button
था कि
mashing.
मतलब यू नो, एंड ऑब्वियसली नाउ यू हैव यू नो इट कि मतलब
हाँ,
विफिंग एक टेक्निक होता
exactly.
है,
हाँ,
देन यू नो, एंड यू नो व्हेन यू आर नॉट जस्ट बटन मैशिंग बट यू आर कैलकुलेटिंग कि तुम्हारा ओपोनेंट क्या करेगा.
हाँ, हाँ.
उस टाइम पे एक दो ऐसे बच्चे होते थे, मतलब जो आर्केड मशीन पे आते थे, जिनको रयू और केन के सारे मूव्स आते थे,
हाँ,
तो वो तो
हाँ.
भाई अबू केन करके फोड़ दिया. अरे यार क्या यार, ये तो भाई चैंपियन है तो
And by the way, Hadouken is the original word, but
इट इज
for us
हाडूकेन.
it's Abuken.
हाँ, अबू केन हडूकेन होता था.
Hadouken, हाँ.
मेरा एक फ्रेंड था, वो तो अमूल चिप्स बोलता था.
Amul chips.
तो अमूल चिप्स क्या, अमूल चिप्स, अमूल ना तो चिप्स बनाता है ना ही ये बोलता है अमूल चिप्स मतलब कहीं से भी कुछ भी आ जाता है.
And I guess that's exactly Amul chips. और Shoryuken कभी नहीं बोलता था.
शोर्युगन वो ऐसे यूज्ड टू साउंड लाइक ऑल यू कैन,
Or you can.
and
Or
obviously
you can. Amul chips.
and obviously केन का जो वो
हाँ.
स्पिनिंग किक वाला होता है. Now the fucking move is called Tatsumaki Senkyu Kyaku, something like that.
हाँ.
Tatsumaki Senpu Kyaku. That's what it's called. Game में it doesn't fucking sound like that. मैं जो बोल क्या रहा है? मैं जो बोल सकते हैं ना तेरे पॉडकास्ट में.
ठीक है, वो क्लिप आ जाएगा इसमें.
अच्छा ठीक है ठीक है.
Good aspect to learn is
हाँ, but he doesn't say that. वो मतलब it sounds like something completely different on the
हाँ.
cabinet. But that is again, I think because of the limitations that you know your systems had at that time.
हाँ, हाँ.
क्योंकि games में उस टाइम पे वॉइस सैंपल लाना बहुत बड़ी बात होती थी.
Exactly, हाँ. Then how do you maintain your consoles?
Not as well as I would like to.
Okay.
नहीं, genuinely नहीं कर पाता हूँ मैं. I think the genuine reason is that you know, when you kind of to grow up to become an adult, so you've got not just consoles but you've got a lot of other things
I
to
know.
take care of.
Yeah.
And I think
Adulting is.
fucking life
Yeah.
gets in the way, man.
Yeah.
But ठीक है, I've not let that stop me too much. Like I still take out the time to play my games and everything. अब कल मेरा नेफ्यू आया था, मैं स्पाइडरमैन 2 खेल रहा था कंसोल पे, तो आता है कहता है कि फूफा जी मेरे को भी खेलना है. मैंने कहा भाग यहाँ से, अभी मेरी बारी है. तो वो कहता है कि बट मेरे को भी खेलना है. मैंने कहा नहीं, तेरे को पहले आना चाहिए था, अब मैं खेल रहा हूँ, दिस इज माय टाइम, गेट आउट. तो बेचारा कलप के रो के भाग गया.
Obviously, I think today's kids also have to go through that pain of not getting a chance, because arcade में भी हमें तो कहाँ मिलता था यार.
हाँ बट साले बट हाँ हमें नहीं मिलता था. बट ठीक है, मतलब आई हैव अ डिफरेंट व्यू ऑन दैट. आई थिंक मतलब इट्स गुड दैट किड्स हैव these available to them, but
The
ठीक है,
curiosity increases,
I guess
no?
we'll come to that
Yeah.
थोड़ी देर में. But हाँ, coming back to your question, how well do you maintain your consoles? Not as well as I would like to.
Yeah.
But अगर मेरे को if I see dust on it, तो मेरा फिर
हाँ.
OCD trigger हो जाता है. Then I have to clean it. And then why it kind of piles up is because if I start cleaning, then I will want to take out everything.
Exactly. हाँ.
फिर मैं अपने सारे consoles निकालूंगा. I will take out my computer. I will disconnect everything. I will take it out, you know, use the blower on it, clean out all the dust, toothbrush से लेके उसके पूरे GPU, CPU के fans, exhaust, air intake outlet fans वगैरह. And so that becomes like a day-long project for me to do.
Yeah.
So it's not just one thing. And I would like to be a little more adventurous with kind of opening up my consoles and kind of giving them a deep clean. I'm very comfortable doing that with my PC. Console, for some reason, I'm very hesitant to do it just because it's a lot of PC parts packed into a very tiny space in a very specific configuration. And I don't want to mess around with that.
And if you were to put a value of all your consoles and games, what would that value be?
I will never put a value in it, and that is why I've never sold any of my consoles till date.
You've only donated one. That's it.
I donated one
Yeah.
because my friend wanted to experiment with putting a
Yeah.
hard disk in the PS2 जो हमने
Yeah,
उसमें लगा रखा था.
but
But I will never sell any of my consoles, and because of that, I will never put a value on them. Because I mean, some of the things that I have, I've actually hunted shops in Karol Bagh, Gafar Market. May I remember? Matlab, this was about maybe 7-8 years ago or something like that. A friend and I, we went to Gafar Market, and we literally asked around every shop jahan pe there was something to do with video games. And you won't believe it, we reached this one place जहाँ पे सिर्फ नियो जियो की कार्ट्रिजेस मिल रही थी. मतलब मैं देख के पागल, समुराई शोडाउन वगैरह, निंजा कमांडो, इनके कार्ट्रिजेस मिल रहे थे. वो मशीन तो नहीं मिलेगी अब तुम्हें, बट द फैक्ट दैट somebody still got that cartridge, it blew my mind. And I guess that's kind of also the time, maybe not 7 8, I think this was more around when I bought the PS3, so it's a lot longer than that. And that was when I kind of started getting into this thing of collecting consoles and preserving them as best as I could. So हाँ, जैसे मेरा सुपर निंटेंडो है, वो अभी भी डब्बे में रखा हुआ है, ओरिजिनल पैकेजिंग में.
Makes sense, yeah, obviously. Tell me one favorite game of each era. Your favorite game of each era.
Okay, so era wise तो पता नहीं, but
मतलब make it your era, your
चल,
own
let me
era.
go with
हाँ,
era
your own
this time based
generation.
on consoles.
ठीक है.
That may be easier
Makes
for
sense,
me.
हाँ, हाँ.
ठीक है. So if we talk about the 8-bit generation, I think Super Mario 3 is my favorite game of all time. To the point कि मैंने tattoo भी करा रखा है पुच्छड़ मारियो का. So Super Mario 3 is my favorite game from that console generation. If we move to the 16-bit generation, it's very difficult for me to choose, because as tempted as I am to say Super Mario World, I won't say that. I probably was the most impacted and affected by Contra 3 Alien Wars. I remember when I saw that game the first time, I was like, holy shit. If this is what an alien invasion looks like, then we are done for. So that game really had a very big impact on my journey as a gamer. But then, in addition to that, I think it was Mortal Kombat 2. Mortal Kombat 2 also influenced me a lot, and it was Mortal Kombat 2 that kind of got me into the whole fighting game wala genre. Although I didn't get into it much after Street Fighter 2, but because I guess it became too complex for me to really enjoy. Then if we move on to 16-bit, kya tha? PlayStation. So PlayStation pe, I think the game that I would consider my favorite. So two games hai. One is Silent Hill, and the second is Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver. Bro, because the first time I played Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver, that was when I was truly introduced to cinematics. And मैं अभी PC gaming की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ, ठीक है? But that was when I was truly introduced to cinematics, and I saw the intro cinematic to Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver. मैं अभी भी देखता हूँ ना, I get goosebumps because the music, the voice acting, the story, I mean everything in that game is dialed up to fucking 101. Okay, so that game influenced me a lot. If we move to the PlayStation 2, Xbox 360, PlayStation 2, Xbox era, Burnout on the Xbox was a favorite of mine. I've never been much into racing sims and arcade racers or whatever, but the reason why Burnout has a good why I associate good things with Burnout is because my office friends and I, we used to have every Saturday session होता था जिसमें हम beer, pizza मंगाते थे और मेरे घर पे Burnout खेलते थे Xbox पे. And मतलब it used to be so much fun because हम लोग बियर पीते थे, एक दूसरे की गाड़ियाँ तोड़ते थे और देखते किसकी गाड़ी कितनी ज़्यादा टूट सकती है. So
it was road rage, but in a virtual
हाँ, correct.
world.
And those guys were not gamers, but they loved the fact that you could
Went out
total a car, obliterate it completely, and you could still win. तो मेरे को बड़ा amusing लगता था. But so there's good memories associated with that. From a so maybe from that generation, of course, there was the Halo. One can't forget
Yeah,
Halo.
yeah,
There was God of War
Oh,
on
God.
the PS2 as well. Very influential games. There was Silent Hill 2. Again, still to date, one of my favorite games. Uh, and so then if we move on to the Xbox 360 era, so one cannot discount the fact that Gears of War, crazy game. I remember the first time I saw Gears of War, I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. Matlab, graphics so showed up, but even the frantic action that you would see in that, even the way the camera movements were programmed, it was brilliant. And there were, to be honest, there were a lot of games there, but Gears of War is something that comes to my
Hmm.
mind immediately when somebody talks about Xbox 360. And I guess that's also a testament to the fact that, as an IP, what an impact it has had on the Xbox era. PlayStation 3 pay, again, I'll stick with God of War because God of War was the rage at the time.
Yeah.
And of course, God of War, again, from a story arc point of view, from a voice acting point of view, from a technical point of view, uh, it's achieved a lot. What else? So if we move on then from Tom 360 पे थे ना, so if we come on to the
Xbox 360 and then
हाँ
yeah,
हाँ तो
PS3.
अब हम now we talk about the PS4, Xbox
Yeah, yeah.
One, right? So Xbox One, maybe I think unfortunately maybe Xbox kind of started
Yeah,
losing
it
its
lost
charm for
quite.
me a little bit in that generation, which was just one generation back. So
PS4.
PS4 had some really good IPs. So whether we talk about The Last of Us, whether we talk about God of War, um, those were some really impressive IPs. And there are of course more as well. Uncharted,
Uncharted,
matlab,
because yeah,
what
Far Cry,
writing?
Uncharted, some really
Ha,
good games.
exactly. And then Xbox पे obviously Gears of War 4 आ गया था उस console पे, which was again a great improvement. But if you ask me to recall a memorable scene from God of War on the PS4, then there are probably scenes I can recall, like fucking the first time meeting Jormungandr. I was like, holy shit. And if you ask me कि यार Gears of War 4 से कोई अच्छा memorable scene बता, like नहीं, I don't,
नहीं,
है
हाँ,
नहीं कुछ. uh, so so then ठीक है. So and then on the current generation, I think PlayStation 5 पे there's a lot to choose from. I've recently been playing Stellar Blade, and it's a brilliant game. It's a fantastic game. It's kind of, it ticks kind of all the boxes for me in terms of, as a gamer, what do I want from a
yeah.
game. Xbox Series X पे, if you ask me, Gears of War 5 आया था. Again, it wasn't that memorable for me. I felt like it carried on for too long, and that's kind of why I'm kind of losing my
It's more
love for
towards
the
PS.
Xbox now.
Yeah, more towards PS series rather than just Xbox.
They're focusing
Yeah,
on
yeah.
good products. They're
No doubt.
focusing on good first party IPs and everything like that. So, मतलब ठीक है. Halo Infinite आया था. I was so looking forward to play Halo Infinite. I played maybe for a day or two, and I was like, क्या है ये?
So now that leads me to the next question, which so we've been talking about all the consoles and everything and all the
Haji.
games as well. In the world of PC or console,
Ah,
what's your
the
take
classic.
on it? Yeah, what's your take on it, and which one would you go for?
So if you had asked me this question about 15-20 years ago, I would have been, PC Master Race is the best. I think that is not true anymore.
Okay.
And I guess, kind of going along on this journey of gaming, when you get to compare what was and what is and what can be, you tend to realize that the bigger picture is not the platform that you're running off. The bigger picture is not um, whether you're on console, whether you're on PC. The bigger picture is, can you get a good gaming experience,
Exactly.
right? So that's one of, I think at least that's also one of the reasons why retro style games are making such a
Comeback.
such a comeback,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And most of these started from indie studios, but there are some major AAA publishers also who are releasing pixel art style games or retro style games. Mobile pe bhi retro style games are a rage, right? So, um, so, so I, you know, a younger version of me maybe would have picked PC
PC.
over over consoles, and that's again because generally consoles maybe up until the seventh generation would have scaled down or weaker um, uh, versions of the game as you would have on PC. Um, Today it's kind of the opposite side, right? Today you're seeing games releasing first on console and then being ported to PC.
Exactly.
Whereas
Yeah.
when I was growing up, games used to be released on PC first and then be ported to consoles. So there would be those trade-offs. You don't have those trade-offs now. Uh, so
and,
yeah,
and some games are actually built in
most
parallel.
games today are built with a console first
Exactly.
mindset,
Yeah.
because I think even like when I play on my PC, um, I'll use keyboard mouse if I'm playing a first person shooter. If I'm playing an action adventure game, I'll prefer to use the
Console,
controller,
yeah.
right? So
There's a very hardcore user base, like clearly that if it's X set of game, then definitely it'll be a console. There'll be a higher customer base preferring for a console rather than PC. And then if it's a Y set of game, then obviously, like you said, first person shooter, then hell yes.
I think there's merits to both, right? That out of the box experience, that living room experience that you get with a console.
Some people have the setup, some people don't have the setup as well, like the space as well. So
Yeah,
they also
exactly.
kind of trade off based on the hardware availability. Or
Exactly. Like it doesn't matter to me anymore. I've kind of moved past that. I mean, moved past that to the point ki now I game on PlayStation, I game on Nintendo, I game on Xbox, I game on PC, I game on Linux as well. Okay. So
then
so I've got one Windows PC and I've got one Linux PC. तो मेरा बेचारा Steam बड़ा confused हो जाता है कि which platform are you using more? मेरे को दोनों Linux version पे और Steam Windows version दोनों पे सर्वे आया प्लीज. मैंने डेट पे लिखे what? अभी तो ये Linux पे था अब ये Windows पे आ गया है. I don't know, but ठीक है. Hardware भी तो different था ना.
Has gaming helped you in any other way, like personal or professional? The entire gaming experience you've lived through all these years.
I don't know. I mean, I've not really thought about whether it has helped me or not. Mostly because I've not seen it as a tool to help me with something. But maybe subconsciously, it's kind of okay. Well, let me kind of rephrase that or retract that and say that maybe yes, it has helped me because after a hard day of work or after a very stressful day at work, sometimes all you want to do is just come home and shoot some people in cyberspace, right? So maybe from that point of view, it helps.
We're not from the US.
We're not from the US. Exactly. बहुत controversial हो जाएगा ये भाई. And if a certain someone is watching this, he's going to get very triggered.
Exactly.
So we'll not tell you who that is. So yeah, maybe it has helped me like that. But then to be honest, it's playing video games is such a basic part of my life now. It's like going out for a walk. I do go out for a walk as well. It helps me clear my thoughts. I do sometimes sit and play video games. It helps me clear my thoughts. In my professional life, I don't know whether it has helped or not. But I suppose it has allowed me to perhaps take a more collaborative, compassionate approach when faced with a difficult situation.
I kind of take that, I mean, from a professional angle, how I would see gaming is it at least gives you that opportunity to, it pushes you to think differently because, for example, you're in a boss game, right? A boss fight. Obviously, you have to die 50 times.
Correct.
But then you're always like, okay, let me find another way. Let me find another way. Professionally, when you're stuck in a situation, because of your experience of, call it stubborn, call it resilience or whatever, but at least you then kind of start thinking, okay, I'm pretty sure this is not the way what is being told professionally to do a work, a particular job, a process and everything. Maybe there's a better way. Or sometimes you just look at it and you're like, no, I'll do it my way. And your ways would always be different purely because of your experience within the gaming, because the approach you look at something
Hmm.
is always dynamic and it's not straightforward.
I suppose you're right. I think so. Okay, maybe yeah. When you put it like that, I can certainly think of a couple of instances where um, I was so a friend reached out and said कि यार मुझे एक scorecard बनाना है and I said ठीक है let's see what we can do and we created something in Excel and Visual Basic in VBA
Yeah.
and I recall that a lot of the UI elements that I had made as part of that मतलब Excel Visual Basic में UI elements के नाम पे क्या तुम्हारे buttons, boxes, check boxes ये सब होता है but the point is that it was very influenced by the games I used to play at that time, right? So right from your option confirmation or cancellation or submitting your feedback or inputs or what options, how would they appear to you?
The UX
I
UI
guess
aspect also kind of you adopt purely because you've experienced a lot of games
and you know what was good, what was intuitive.
Exactly.
Some of these things are very are evolutionary as well, right? We know red is a thing to avoid, we know green is now we know green is a thing that's good, right? So you're right. So maybe some of that. Again, I've not always thought about it like that. But yes, problem solving, coming up with different approaches, being a little more creative, and kind of experimenting with different paths you can take.
Cool.
तू बता तेरे को कैसे हेल्प किया गेमिंग ने? तू भी बहुत गेम खेलता है?
हाँ, again the same old
फाइटिंग गेम्स खेलता है ना तू? बहुत खेलता था बहुत
पहले. हाँ, with
बटन मैशिंग करता था जिसमें तू
Xbox 360 it was kind of, I started with button mashing no doubt, but it did help, and especially with हाँ मतलब I won't call I have that much resilience and patience if I die multiple times and I can't clear a stage. But that is exactly what I also try to push myself. I was like नहीं यार, if my friends can do it, they are, I call them gamers. I call you gamer. I was like, नहीं यार, यही तो patience, यहीं से तो build up होती है. You've got to do it. They're like, okay, fine, ठीक है. And then learning the methods to find a solution. Sometimes you won't find it yourself. Then self-help, ठीक है, okay, go to YouTube. Look out for tutorials. Look out for steps. That extra effort to achieve something which either could have been very simple or it wasn't simple in the first place itself. But it still pushed you still kind of pushed yourself, and you moved out of the comfortable space you've created.
Correct.
That is kind of how I take gaming, and especially now I'm into sim racing. It just makes my brain so I can see myself how patiently I sit for way long, and it's not purely because of the focus or how the game is, but my mind is now drilled in a way that no, I've got to figure out, here are the tweaks I've got to improve.
But that's what I'm saying, because now your mind is recognizing the fact that there is more than just one or two elements to allow you to move forward. So maybe when you started playing F1, you probably only thought accelerator, brake, steering, right? But now you're thinking track, now you're thinking engine tuning, parts that and you're practicing, right? So I guess the more you play and the more you look at it as something that is a challenge that you need to overcome, so you will start looking at it from different dimensions as well.
I always use F1 as an experience because for me, until 2018, I thought F1 was pretty much a useless sport altogether. I was at that level. Gradually, eventually, I kind of evolved, learned a lot, started learning, and I guess, and that's where how for me the professional aspect comes is in such a high investment sport. There are so many engineers working on fine tuning on the engine and the car, and just because of one mistake, the entire race is lost. And I started comparing that with the professional world. Yeah, because there are strategies, right?
F1 is an example that one can say, हाँ कि ठीक है F1 है, गाड़ियाँ हैं, बहुत पैसा है. I mean, if you think about golf,
Exactly.
बग्गी में बैठे हो, एक पॉइंट से दूसरे पॉइंट तक जा रहे हो, टिक बैठो चलो. But there is so much science behind that as well.
And that's so because of F1 now I've started looking to golf that it's not just that. It's not just like you just shoot and you move on.
Nah.
There are minor details as well, and again, in the corporate world, how I would see is how F1. It doesn't matter how much investment you have. It doesn't matter how much. It's still a collaborative sport and a sport and a world where you have to communicate. You have to talk to each other. You can't just do things all by yourself. And even if you're investing, so we have millions in a project in a corporate world, and yet the outcome is completely, it's not customer focused. And you're like, why did we put so much effort for? We didn't get the appraisal at the end, right? And that's how I started comparing with F1. I was like, no, these are the nitty-gritties. I started with mobile gaming, then learned more about the tracks. And I've also said in the stream when I stream, I was like, sometimes like the tracks which were my favorite on mobile are no longer my favorite on Xbox when I play on console, especially with the sim setup. Now I have a different set of preferences, and the experience I had on mobile for a particular track, like I hated Jeddah track on mobile. Now it's my favorite purely because of the experience.
Correct.
And then the evolution and also learning. It's about the patience, building that focus. Okay, I don't like it right now. Maybe I have so much going in my head, but I have to fine tune my brain. And sit and focus as well. So
which is why
that kind of pushes me to kind of take from a personal preference or a professional preference that how gaming
100%. Which is why I'm a strong believer of the fact that when you play games, it's not just your character, but it's also you who levels up.
Exactly. Yeah. And it brings that patience. With the personal and professional aspect as well, how has your family transitioned themselves, because you've been playing since childhood as well? How they've transitioned themselves because you've played since childhood? How would you see they've improved or changed or evolved?
जैसे अंग्रेजों ने आज़ादी के टाइम पे किया था. पहले बहुत मारा, फिर बहुत समझाया, फिर अपने हो गए. छोड़ दिया, अपने हो गए, चलो आ जाओ. तो मतलब लिटरली बहुत पिटा हूँ मैं मतलब so मतलब to the point where I remember as a kid I used to have my lookout guys. तो वो देखते थे घर से कोई आ रहा है कि नहीं. And we used to be lookout guys for each other, क्योंकि हर किसी के माँ बाप या घर से कोई ना कोई आता था, मतलब या तो झाड़ू या चप्पल या रैप्टाल लेके रेडी होते थे. So मतलब I think now that I'm older, I can understand कि they didn't want people spending too much time in playing video games. Plus, I think in the 80s and early 90s में video game parlor, pool parlor, carom parlor, ये सारे इन चीज़ों का थोड़ा रेपुटेशन खराब होता था, क्योंकि मतलब वहाँ पे सुट्टे सिगरेट पीने वाले भी होते थे, शराब पीने वाले भी होते थे, गुंडे मवाली भी आते थे. तो वो रेपुटेशन ऐसा इनहेरिट हो गया था.
You were going out of the house, and the moment you're out of the house, your parents will be worried. But now,
plus you are at that certain age also, where you can be influenced by the wrong thing very quickly.
Correct.
So ठीक है, so मतलब उस टाइम पे मना करते थे. And obviously they wanted us to focus on our academics more. So again मतलब I think today's parents encourage their children to participate in extracurricular activities, so not just focus on academics but create an all-round personality or whatever, जो भी कह लो. तो so आजकल I think थोड़ा सा वो tolerance ज़्यादा है,
at least in India. But वही अगर if you start looking globally about gaming as well, it's still used as an excuse to stay inside, be introverted, not go out, not meet people as well. But that's a different thing.
यार मतलब see,
at a certain age,
there's two ways to look at this, right? If you are saying that a child should go out to play video game, if you're saying that a child should go out, and उसके आप reasons गिनने लग जाओ, social skills develop करने हैं, confidence boost करना है, ठीक है, interact with more people. In today's gaming world, if a kid is online playing games in a controlled environment, obviously parental supervision होना चाहिए. वो online खेल रहा है, he's interacting with a far wider group of people.
Yeah.
He or she.
Yeah.
Okay? That kid is more confident because the more they win, the more trash talk, and the more
Yeah.
trash talk, the more confident they get.
And the more resilience in terms of hearing that trash talk or hearing that, you kind of build up the confidence and
Of course, it's
Yeah.
not without its dangers as well. But when we used to go to play to the park, तो हमें भी danger होता था क्योंकि वहाँ पे झूले टूटे फूटे होते थे.
correct.
झूले से गिर के मतलब गला टूट गया, हाथ टूट गया. मतलब मेरे साथ तो एक बार मेरा पूरा हाथ कट गया था झूले से. So I'm not saying that this should be used as an excuse to say kids should be at home playing
Yeah.
video games, or kids should only go out. I think there has to be a balance between the two, because there are two very distinct skills that the real world will give you and today's virtual world will
Yeah.
give you. Parents need to acknowledge that, in my view. I mean, that's at least my thinking, because dono se there is a lot to learn from both sides. And of course, kids depend at a certain, up until a certain age, let's say, they need physical activity as well.
No doubt. Yeah.
तो घर पे तो like again my nephew का example देता हूँ. वो जब घर पे आता है, if he wants to play video games, there is a time for him to play video games. उसको उस टाइम में जितना खेलना है खेल सकता है. But जब वो physical activity करता है, मैं खुद उसके साथ खेलता हूँ.
With all of this gaming, you also play even now. Have you thought of streaming your gameplay?
I have thought of streaming. In fact, when you started streaming, I thought about it as well. And I realized that this is probably the most profound thing, but I'm very lazy.
There's no need for being profound for
this.
This
is as
man.
profound as it gets. ठीक है? I'm lazy. So I think that's, in a nutshell, I'd say I'm lazy. मैं acknowledge कर लूँगा. But I think I have my reasons for that also. And it's because when I finished work, I don't always want to be in front of the computer.
Yeah.
I don't always want to be talking, because I've probably been talking the entire day. I probably want to unwind a little bit. So to me, that unwinding is either playing with the kids, or it's either cooking something in the evening,
But whenever,
or it's either playing the guitar a little bit.
but just whenever you're in front while you're playing. So, when I say streaming your gameplay, it doesn't have to be, you have to be in front of the camera. as
I
well.
know.
But just the gameplay.
Because I don't play games every day also.
Yeah.
मैं every day भी नहीं खेलता हूँ. Of course, when I start playing, I will play for the whole day.
I've seen 12 hours. I've seen you
Correct.
play 12 hours.
But I don't play games every day.
Yeah.
And I think I don't want to be somebody who is streaming for the sake of streaming, right? If I'm streaming, I want to be able to add some value to what I'm putting out there. And if I'm not adding value, then there is no point in me doing that.
Makes sense. Okay. Okay, this is something different. If you were to be a game creator, what game would you create?
I would love to create Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver.
Okay.
I would love to create that. And using modern game engines, modern game technologies, I would love to remake that game if I were a game creator.
And with your elements added into it rather than just...
with elements of gaming that I have grown to love.
Okay.
So with every generation of gaming, there have been improvements, there have been changes. Some things have worked, some things have not worked. Whether it's from an art style, whether it's from a control configuration, whether it's from how physics interact, how you use your environment, whatever. But I would love to recreate the Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver series if I could.
How do you see artificial intelligence changing the landscape and gaming industry?
I don't know too much about this, and the reason why I'm saying that is because I'm not a gaming insider, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not a developer, I'm not a designer, I'm not an artist or whatever. But from what I do know, I think it is creating an impact. From what I understand, you can get AI to write game code for you. So you can say, write Unity script to do this or whatever, and it will do it for you. I suppose that's good. And it's perhaps not so good for some people, right? But that's no different from, I think, the scenario where you are forced to up your game, I guess, right? So let me give you an example, right? So my brother, he is a, you know this, right? He's a 3D character artist.
Yeah.
And initially he started working with just two things, which was Maya and Max, right? He's now working with Maya, he's working with Max, he's working with ZBrush, he's working with Marmoset, he's working with Adobe Substance Painter, he's working with whatever. There's a bunch of other things that he works with, right? Photoshop and everything. And it's all for the same thing. He is a 3D character artist. He that is his passion. He wants to create characters. He wants to create game assets. So from using just two key tools of the trade to now expanding to use 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever. I think it's all about upping your game. So of course, with the utmost of respect to anybody who's currently impacted in an adverse way by AI, I think while AI can do a lot of things, there are some things AI cannot do. But for the things that it is doing, it should give us probably time to stop and think about and reevaluate that what is it that we need to do to up our game as well.
And I guess from a gamer perspective or from a consumer perspective, because if you and I are consumers of a game, for us it's like, who's giving us the best deal? Kind of, not specifically, because like for example, my take on this would be Unreal Engine, right? It helps the game developers to, like, for the hours and hours they would spend on something, or days, actually weeks, they could now just do it in a couple of minutes or maybe half an hour.
There's a lot of things for that said. There's a lot of middleware available for doing things that you would otherwise have to create your own systems for. I think as a consumer, the current situation of the gaming industry, in my view, is not very great. I mean, if we talk about quality gaming, there's not a lot of quality gaming in my view. And maybe I'm a boomer gamer, maybe that's why I'm maybe saying this, but to whoever's watching or listening, feel free to make your own opinions as well. This is mine. That today's people want, or today's gamers want something that maybe lacks depth, right? So it's one of those things that it's a mile wide but an inch deep, right? So you want more content, but the quality of that content, how does that stack up? Right? I think that needs a little bit of thought, and that needs a little bit of reflection as well. We want games to be pumped out by the minute, right? Now, typical gameplay time right now, I think, is what, 10 to 12 hours for a single player campaign. But I guess I kind of lost my train of thought there because I was distracted by that bird. But that also proves my point, that it's so easy to get distracted that you lose sight of the big picture. Coming back to the big picture, which was that you want that as a consumer, as a customer, you don't ask just for content, ask for quality content, because let's understand this, right? That game studios, publishers, these people are in it for the money. They want to make money, and how will they make money is by selling you more stuff, by selling you microtransactions, by selling you skins and upgrades and abilities and coins and gems and shit like that. That does not, none of that adds to the experience of the game, right? These are cash grabs. Companies know it. Companies know who they are targeting through these strategies, and companies know that as long as there is a majority of the audience that will go for content which gives them rights to brag, right, then they can always get away with it. So they can always release the next chapter, which is probably an extra map to play, and that may be fine in some games, but overall, when you talk about the quality of games, at least from a narrative, from a story-driven point of
Then,
view, being
yeah.
developed. I don't see too many games coming out now that kind of bring that feeling of nostalgia back to me, or at least affect me in a way like something like Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver did.
Yeah.
Probably Last of Us was one of those games in recent times that really and the Telltale series ka Walking Dead wala series.
Yeah.
Oh man, what
Amazing,
a brilliantly written series, right? And that's the problem. Like Telltale Studios got shut down.
I think it's the storytelling, story building, character development, all that matters
Correct.
as well.
All that takes time, right?
Yeah,
So you create a character, you see that character grow through a game.
Like God of War, like everyone loved Kratos purely for that story building aspect.
Exactly.
As well.
And there was no rushing into
Yeah.
things. There was no microtransactions. फालतू का DLC नहीं था. Valhalla का DLC आया, but ठीक है. That's a it's combat arena essentially. I think at least. So I think as a consumer, the ask should be to ask for more quality content than content that does not add to the replayability or the gameplay value.
Pretty much at the end of the day, it's always about customer experience. I mean, as a gamer, like the one who's consuming, right?
Matlab, if your experience is to, I've always seen games as an interactive story or an interactive movie.
Yeah.
Right? A movie where you are given control. And from that point of view, I would not go and watch some shitty movie where the actors are changing clothes every 10 minutes. And then go out and brag to my friends and say कि you know what, I saw this movie, इसने actor ने मतलब 3 घंटे की picture में इसने 300 कपड़े बदल दिए. Like इसमें कुछ भी नहीं है यार. But if I go and say that I played this game or I saw this movie and dude, it has changed my life forever. It's given me a completely different perspective on things that are important. Then that changes you as well.
True. Now, we'll keep this next question. We'll try to keep it short because it's like a question with 4 parts.
Oh, bhai.
But yeah, like, how would you support different aged people to enter gaming?
Ah, okay.
And the first one would be, how would you support for a 5-year-old?
So a 5-year-old needs something that has a lot of visual stimulation because that helps with their brain development. So probably games with a lot of colors, with simple shapes, which promote memory association and those sort of things. Nothing too complex, nothing too fancy.
Yeah.
Graphics is not what a kid at 5 years old needs. They need something which stimulates those neurons in their brain, and so something more colorful, vibrant, chirpy, lots of sounds, lots of lights.
What about a 15-year-old?
So 15, those tweens are the weird time of life, right, where you're neither kid nor adult.
Yeah.
So it's important to balance things out at that time. I mean, you don't want to, for a 15-year-old, you don't want to be giving them a game which is for somebody clearly younger than them.
Yeah.
But you also don't want to be giving them something which is meant for somebody who is in a more mature state of mind, right? So you got to think about it. Easiest way, look at the rating. If the rating says, so every game has an ESRB rating. Like assuming you can look up the ESRB rating. For the US it's ESRB, I think for Europe it's PEGI or whatever. So you look up the ratings. Anything that's rated teen, you get a teenager to play it. But stuff like Counter-Strike, Valorant, etc. I think they are good in that they allow a teen to start building friendships, camaraderie. They start help you building that. But it has to be monitored, because if there is a parent listening to this, you have to remember that you are still the parent. Right? You still are in charge. You still have to monitor what they do online, because the cyberbullying is a very real threat, right? And kids can get very deeply impacted by it. So encourage them to play different things. Make sure you're reading the label on the box to understand what is it that they are ingesting, and monitor it.
And because that's the 15 years is also the age people would want to go for action based, like Modern Warfare as well. And Modern Warfare, like you said, has a lot of people coming from a lot of geographies, a lot of as well, and then that's where the probability of cyberbullying or challenges adds up as well.
Absolutely. And matlab, the only thing I would say that again, if you're a parent listening to this, then don't think that violent games make violent people.
Yeah.
Right. By that logic, violent movies should also make violent people. By that logic, if I am playing, Tiger Woods PGA golf, I should be a golf expert as well, right?
I mean, there've been players who've played Doom, right? No one's been as mad as Doom.
I've played Doom so much,
Yeah.
and I've never fired a gun in real life at all, and I don't even want to. But
Yeah.
no person in their sane mind does
Yeah.
these sort of things.
Okay, then the third one would be a 25-year-old. How would you support a 25-year-old to enter gaming?
I suppose for a 25-year-old, probably look at meaningful gaming experiences. So this is not where I will suggest what game you should play, but look for a meaningful gaming experience. At 25, it's likely that you're probably in your first or second job, maybe third job,
Yeah,
but you're
yeah.
still relatively new to the concept of having a job. And I say relatively new because I'm talking about myself. So look for games that help you kind of create meaningful relationships. So this is when if I go back to when I was talking about burnout, right? So this is the time when I was in my mid 20s,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And what that allowed us to do was bond.
Yeah.
And those bonds that we created in our 20s are strong even today.
Yeah.
Right. So every time we meet up, we talk about that thing कि सेशन करते हैं एक बार घर पे, और सेशन करते हैं का मतलब बियर, पिज्जा एंड बर्नआउट. So if you're 25 years old, think of games think of opportunities to play games that will allow you to create relationships. Fall Guys is a good example. It's not
FIFA becomes one of that as well. Like
मतलब है.
From that perspective, the point you said, building relationship and having that meaningful approach, it does, because then everyone just wants to unwind, have people together, pizzas and everything.
It's about having fun.
Yeah.
It's about having fun.
For a 35-year-old.
So for a 35-year-old, I think you may, and this is again, it's just a suggestion. There are grandmothers and grandpaps who play Counter-Strike and COD and everything. But this is just a suggestion that typically at 35, you've kind of got responsibilities, you kind of have things set in a certain way. But you've also kind of calmed down from what you were in your teens and 20s to somebody who is now kind of plateauing in terms of what triggers them. Right. So when I was in my 20s, I would get very triggered by little kids yelling and everything. I'm at a much calmer stage of my life now, and I've come to understand that they're just kids. They will yell if they are uncomfortable, if they want attention, they will yell. They are kids, let them be kids. When we were kids, we probably did the same as well. So if you're 35 and if you're looking at gaming, probably look for games that are story driven, that are character driven, that give you certain moral choices to make when you're playing the game, and those moral choices define the outcome of the game. Some of that may allow you to reflect on your own approach. If you were faced with a situation, how would you react with it? React to that situation. And I think play games that will challenge you, so that even like you said, that even if you die like a million times, you want to become resilient to the point that you will give it another go. And you will not stop until you get to that, finish what that challenge is. So somebody who's 35, play story driven games, play meaningful games that give you moral choices to make. And of course, this is true for any age group. Play puzzle games.
But which eventually, like you said, it's more about now that you're at a stage where there's just so much you've had experience and everything. Now you just want to balance it out.
You want to balance it out. So at that stage, and why I'm saying puzzle games is because puzzle games at any age will always help you,
Yeah.
right? But the need, if we're saying that gaming fulfills certain needs, right? Then there is a mental need and there is an emotional need as well. Okay, let it fulfill both.
Cool. What would be the closing comments? Because we've just talked, pretty much blabbered pretty much about everything.
Of course. I pity the fools who will hear this. So, closing comments kuch nahi hai yaar, Sid, dekh. Like, games are games, right? Games are meant to be fun.
Yeah.
They are meant to be engaging. They are meant to unite people. They are and unite people not just while playing the game, but also while talking about the game.
Yeah.
It's the same as music, right? If so office में पिछले हफ्ते में था and I was in the smoking area में सुट्टा मार रहा था मैं, और एक बंदा और खड़ा हुआ था वहाँ पे, and मेरे को उसके हेडफोन से चिक 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 ऐसे आवाज़ आ रही थी, and I was like shit, this sounds very familiar. तो मैंने उसको ऐसे ही बोल दिया, मैंने कहा तू रैमस्टाइन सुन रहा है? मैं जानता नहीं था उसका. मैंने कहा you listening to रैमस्टाइन? कहता हाँ, Du hast. मैं कहा किक ass song. तो मतलब so coming back to games as well, right? So when I show this tattoo, always when somebody sees this tattoo, we start talking about Mario and they're like,
why don't you show the tattoo like properly?
So this is the tattoo. I don't know. Maybe Sid will post a picture of it in a close up or whatever. So it's about bringing people together. It's about connecting on something that is common. But at the same time, it's also about accepting that things can be different, right? If you played a video game and every enemy was the same enemy, you'd get bored in the first 30 seconds of it. That is why you have variety, right? So in the same way, different people will like different games, different genres, different consoles, different systems. But at the end of the day, everybody is there for a common objective, to have fun while playing games. So when you're playing games, remember to have fun. Those games can help you develop your cognitive skills. They can help you develop motor skills. There is a lot of science to suggest that gaming is good for you. But I say forget all the science, forget everything else. Play to have fun, play to take away some of the stress of your life, or to find an outlet of release if you are very stressed.
Cool. Thank you, Raj. It was amazing. We had pretty much a proper recorded blabber.
हाँ, मजा आया.
Standard blabber.
मजा आया भाई, genuinely.
Perfect. Thank you everyone, and thanks Reggie. We'll catch you in another Gyani session with someone else, or I don't want to go solo at the moment, but definitely we'll try with someone else. Alright, thank you everyone.
Game on.